Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the second round in Season 3 of the NAMAR Mountain Dew Code Red Series. It's time for heat race number 1. And on the front row is your winner from Talladega, Andrew Rich, with his teammate, Hunter Braxton. In row 2 is Jonathan Zorlin and Bobo Jones, who won a heat race last week. See, I'm still a little rusty, guys. Row 3 is Jesse Turner and Casey Nanaka, who was a surprise. Did not qualify due to some kind of mechanical problem in his heat. Row 4 is Sky Commons and Ryan Brommer. And in row 5, Adam Flickinger and Marty Johnson. Marty also missed out on Talladega due to a poor pit stop. Martin Wild, Cole Deaver, row 6. Joshua Sekuli, Quentin Moore, row 7. Eli Bright, Fitzwater Sr., row 8. Row 9, Fodemar Otts and Benjamin Ice. Row 10, Brian Tremblay and Peter Onjak. Row 11, Slade Jagger and Zane Beckett, who DNQ'd last week. And in the final row is Donovan Cage and Baco Magora, also DNQ'd last week. So the 54-74 obviously still have their work cut out for them. 17 laps. Everyone's probably going to make one pit stop around lap 15, 14, whatever. And this should be an interesting first heat race as the drivers are about to start up their engines.
Doesn't start until we ask our drivers a question. Are you ready? Drivers, will you please start your engine? Yeah, get a lot of static. I'm going to switch radios real quick. We still Alan off. What are you doing, buddy? Oh, this is here in the race car. All right, baby. You know, this is us right here, stalling.
And with that, we will get ready to go. Green flag racing from start to finish in this heat. Reminder, any accidents will not bring out the yellow flag. We will race green for an entire 17 laps. The race distance this week is 82. So that race we should expect 2 pit stops, as the regular fuel window is 30 to 32 laps. For now, we'll focus back on the heat. So Andrew Rich, fresh off a victory. How about Jonathan Zorlin with a huge run off of turn 2. And he'll peek to the inside of Andrew Rich. Now, unlike Talladega, you do have to get off the accelerator here at Atlanta. And it looks like Zorlin will lead the first lap, but Jesse Turner straight to the inside going into turn 1. Roush Fenway has shown speed early on this season. As if we look at the point standings, mind that. Turner sits 22nd. He was running up near the front earlier in the going until he got damaged. So Turner looking to maybe start the race tomorrow on the front row as someone just peeled to the apron. Joshua Sekuli. And it seems to happen every week. For the second week in a row, that is. We have some kind of mechanical issue. It looks like he's mostly up to speed. Something to miss on the 0-1, however, as they are 3 wide back here. And Marty Johnson has really fallen back. Oh, and Fodemar Otts just got the wall. But right now, Sekuli, one of the 4 drivers who would miss out on Atlanta. And if we look at the point standings, Sekuli DNF'd last week, but he did get 25th. So how about Baco Magora right now looking to the inside of Fitzwater. 1 position short of 20th. Benjamin Ice gets the wall there going into turn 1. So it looks like these guys are being a little aggressive here today. Sekuli fixed whatever his problem was. The good news for him is his pit stop has been completed and he has fresher tires. Sorlin back to the front. We'll see if Sekuli in any way, shape, or form is able to make up any sort of ground. As I think we have another problem. Peter Onjak's coming down pit road. It looks like it's fuel only and repairs for the 90 team. As you can see, he created a bit of a gap. Slade Jagger in 15th place, man. Paying off with some luck right there. Donovan Cage, Marty Johnson, Magora up to 18th. St. Beckett was in the top 20. He's trying to stay in the top 20. As we're starting to train out a little bit, these drivers fighting tire wear here. Turner's falling back to 4th. It looks like he might fall back further. Andrew Rich looking for 2nd from Jonathan Zorlin as Hunter Braxton has stormed to the race lead. And Sekuli, despite having fresher tires, does not have that draft like the leaders, so he is still losing time. He is 1 lap down, as is the 90 of Peter Onjak, who's just leaving pit road. Onjak, it looks like, will fall 2 down. As Braxton passes by on lap 9, we're seeing about a second of tire fall off right now. But the top 15 look pretty good. They've got 2 seconds. Slade Jagger to Marty Johnson. It's a 2-second gap, so pit stops will probably really make this finish interesting. So far, so good for Braxton. You see Sorlin trying to fight back on Andrew Rich for 2nd, but Rich holds him off. So Junior Motorsports 1-2, Turner in 4th. And Sky Common sits in 5th with Brommer in 6th. And how about Martin Wild up here in the top 10? Good run here for the 76 out of Go Green Racing. I believe that is the team he is a part of. And now 3 wide. Bobo Jones on the bottom with Flickinger in the middle. As you can see, though, the field really spreading out. Cole Deaver up to 8th place. And the question is, when will we see these drivers come down pit road? Sorlin really holding up Andrew Rich after passing him for 2nd. But Braxton is just pulling away right now. So Onjak actually fell 3 laps down. So it looks like Onjak will not make Atlanta. Second to 5th, bumper to bumper. Half 6/10, 6/10 behind Hunter Braxton. As it looks like Andrew Rich will be the first one to peel down pit road here on lap 13. He and Eli Bright coming down pit road. Marty Johnson will pit as well from the 2nd group. And we'll see if Sekuli gains any ground from this. Hunter Braxton will be in the 2nd group. Sorlin, Brommer, they stay out. Turner's down, Adam Flickinger, Brian Tremblay, and Slade Jagger, among others, in that 2nd group. that leaves just about half the field, and it looks like they will come down on lap 15 to 16. Is there someone going to stretch it? Nope, that's just Peter Onjak. So everybody will come down pit road here on lap 15. As you see Andrew Rich making his way around those from the second group. It looks like Braxton will still come out in front. Holy come. Donovan Cage. Did Donovan Cage just come out of pit road second? Oh my goodness gracious. I think he did. Unless he had a major problem and he's a lap down. No, he is indeed in this position. Oh, but look at how down on power he is. Eli Bright will make a move to the left. Braxton's trying to beat out Nanaka, but he's not the leader. Sorlin was able to take as little as fuel as possible, and he'll come around to take the white flag in Heat 1. Ryan Brommer sits behind him in second. Sekuli gets his lap back, but he's still nowhere close. And coming around turns 3 and 4, it'll be Jonathan Sorlin winning Heat 1 here at Atlanta. And it looks like the following... Oh, Baco Magor got into 20th. So the following drivers will miss out on Atlanta. Frodemar Otts, Shane Beckett, Joshua Sekuli, and Peter Onjak. So that is the second DNQ for Shane Beckett, the first for Otts, Sekuli, and Onjak. But Baco Magoro will make his debut alongside Marty Johnson and Casey Nanako. So those three drivers will get their first starts of the season. And now let's take you to heat number 2. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back here at Atlanta. It's time for heat number 2. Let's get into your starting lineup on the front row. Dylan Young and RJ Bishop. Row 2, Alan Cavanero, and a surprise out of Zoe Fernandez. What a qualifying run here in this heat race. 4th place for the 35 team. We'll see if they have the same pace in race trim. Row 3 is Johnny Gardner and Dale Lightning, who was very fast in his heat race last race. Row 4 is Samet Oskin and Nico Tringali. And in row 5 we have Benny Watson and Corey Riggs. Also 2 drivers with surprisingly good runs. Here's your rest of your starting lineup. Row 6, Audra Baranauskas and Matthew Logan. Row 7, Colt Hudson and Cole Baker. Row 8, James Ellison and Wyatt Anderson. Row 9 is Seth Cole and Enzo Nareza. Row 10, Edwin Mendez and Daniel Voiles. And in row 11 we have Alexander Rowe, Lucas Catano, and in the final row, Jackson King and Chris Wheeler.
All right, well, the fun doesn't start until we ask our drivers a question. Are you ready? Drivers, will you please start your engine?
Oh, and problems right off the grid. Audra Baranauskas has blown up. Baranauskas finished 8th at Talladega, but it looks like she will completely miss Atlanta. And a tough break for the 21 car. Now, as we know, missing the Talladega last week included the 61, the 52, the 98, and I'm trying to remember who the other one was. I forget, to be honest. Was it RJ Bishop? No. I forget. I really do. But anyways, we'll focus on the racing action. Dylan Young currently leading the field. See, pretty good battle up here. RJ Bishop. See, Zoe Fernandez has already fallen to 6th place. Benny Watson up to 7th. Cole Baker creeping into the top 10. So RJ Bishop will take the lead away from Dylan Young. Look at this. Benny Watson, Cole Baker. Underfunded teams. Mid-pack teams. Look at them up here in the top 10. Remember, you must be top 20 to advance to the race. Dylan Young falls all the way down to 6th. As Bishop and Gardner lead the pack. Nico Tringali making some moves through the field. Edwin Mendez started 19th, and he is about to be in the top 10. Right there behind James Ellison, sitting in 11th place. And Audra Baranauskas is out. The engine has expired. And she might not be the only big-name driver missing Atlanta if Enzo Nareza does not get himself back in the top 20. He started in 18th, and he's struggling at the back of the field. What a week for Chris Wheeler and his team. This is arguably the most down on performance car aside from the 54 Baco Magora, and Wheeler took his team to a where is he? Oh, well, it was going to be better, but it ended up being 35th because they were so down that they were falling back and avoiding wrecks. But 35th for Chris Wheeler, trying to make improvements to this team. You know, they've got such down on power. So pit stop strategy, we saw Donovan Cage with a pretty interesting strategy, you know, in Heat 1, and it sent him all the way up. And even though you're slow on power and all that, you gain all those track positions, and it really does pay off. So pitting in the last group seemed to have been pretty beneficial for Jonathan Sorlin, who ended up winning the race by about 3 seconds over Hunter Braxton and Andrew Rich, who looked like they were the favorites. So right now, aside from Baranauskas, Chris Wheeler, Jackson King, and Daniel Voiles are the 3 at the bottom of this group. Dale Lightning has fallen back to 19th place. He's about to get passed by Chris Wheeler. As someone else has fallen out of the race, Wyatt Anderson with a mechanical problem. So just like Heat 1, 2 mechanical problems here at Atlanta. This really helps Chris Wheeler. That means only 2 people at the back of this pack will miss the race. At the front of the field, Johnny Gardner is the leader. We've been paying attention to the back pretty much most of this race. Enzo Nareza up to 15th. Oh, and it was Edwin Mendez who missed Talladega, along with Johnny Gardner, Alexander Rowe, and who was the other one again? Oh, Lucas Catano. Those were the 4. Catano, Mendez, and I'm drawing a blank again. Okay, great. Catano, Mendez, Rowe, and Gardner. Those were the 4. Meanwhile, Gardner leads this race How about Fernandez still doing great? She's up in 8th. Cole Baker 10th. Benny Watson 9th. Dylan Young fell from the pole to 7th. Cavanero sits in 2nd place, but Gardner is gone in the race lead. And we are quickly approaching pit stops. And you can just see fastest laps. Baranowski's unable to get one down. So 2 mechanical problems in Heat 2. But it looks like smooth sailing right now for Johnny Gardner. And what would it mean for Stewart Haas and Biaggi to be the first team to sweep the heats? You know, that could be a thing. You sweep the heats, you get the pole with one of your drivers, and then have one of them win the race. Now that would be the ultimate weekend sweep. So, Junior Motorsports didn't really do that last week. I mean, they had their Dale Lightning won his heat. He got the pole, but Andrew Rich won the race. So when we're talking about the ultimate sweep, we're going to say one of the 2 heat winners gets the pole and wins the race. Though that coin flip is purely luck-based. Right now, Johnny Gardner is flying away as our first group comes down, and Chris Wheeler is among them. Oskin, Bishop, Cavanero. So we'll see what the strategy play is here. You know, you do not want to have a terrible pit stop. It looks like most of these drivers are taking 2 tires. Gardner will lead down his group. And Dylan Young with a bad stop. Dylan Young's going to come out of pit road last. That could be dangerous depending what Group 2 does. And it looks like Group 2 will also put right side. Oh, wait, it's a mix. Johnny Gardner is taking fuel only, as was Benny Watson. Everybody else put on 2 tires. So we'll see what that does. And you see Dale Lightning really going to hurt from his decision to take 2. Oh man, this is a very bad stop for the 5 team. Tringali, Mendez, Ellison, and Voiles are the last 4 to come down pit road at 2 to go. And look at that, just so quick. Fuel only pit stops. Will this give Tringali the heat win? I mean, there's your race leader, Johnny Gardner. There's Watson. Here comes Cavanero. 2 laps to go. And we're seeing what 2 tires can do right here from Alan Cavanero. So much quicker around the bottom line of the racetrack. But this is really going to help Voiles, who was near the back of the field. You see Mendez with fuel only comes out next to Johnny Gardner. And that's probably going to give the win to Tringali. At the bottom of the field are 2 top teams, Dylan Young and Dale Lightning. But there's a problem for Chris Wheeler, and that's going to be what saves Dylan Young. This will put the 2 car in the field, but Dale Lightning had a terrible pit stop, and it looks like he will miss out on Atlanta. But off of turn 4, it's going to be Nico Tringali winning Heat 2. So a Ford front row. So Sorlin and Tringali are your heat winners here today at Atlanta. But Dale Lightning, Chris Wheeler, Wyatt Anderson, and Audra Baranowskis will miss out on the race. So that means that the only driver who will have yet to make a start when we head to Rockingham next will be Shane Beckett from Heat 1, making their season debuts this week will be Johnny Gardner, Edwin Mendez, Alexander Rowe, and Lucas Catano. So all four of those drivers will get to run at Atlanta. And a tire problem for Chris Wheeler. Interesting. But with that said, I will see you guys for the main event, 82 laps here at Atlanta.